the best, the greatest, the finest. And the superlatives just go on and on and on. And with good reason, every one of these names is an icon. They are the PBA's first 25. I am Lourdes de Vera. Join me as we count down the greatest names to ever walk the Philippine hardcourt here on Basketball Almanac.
There's a dead ball situation now. They can call for a 30-second injury timeout.
As the philosopher said, height is might. Well, especially in basketball. But not all the time. You see, sometimes giants tend to be slow and awkward. But these big men we're about to show you certainly knew how to dominate the paint. 18 years ago, the PBA celebrated its 25th anniversary. But the milestone is not just about silver plating Asia's first pay-for-play league. The bigger celebration gravitated towards a distinct group of men who defined and redefined Philippine basketball.
Part of the celebration yun is to honor yung top players who made the league what it is. At that time, there was a need to parang just as a form of celebration lang ng 25th anniversary ng PBA, they decided to come up with their own list of 25 greatest players.
And so the PBA came up with the first 25, an elite list of players from the league's first 25 years, from 1975 to the year 2000. Candidates for the first 25 were screened using the following criteria. They must have played at least 12 conferences, must have won at least one major individual award like the MVP, Rookie of the Year, and Mythical Selection among others, and must have had a positive contribution to the sport.
So once you win the MVP award, regardless of how well you played for their entire career, kahit isang taong ka lang magaling, that is more than enough already for you to qualify. So that's one. Number two, I think it's really more of yung accomplishments mo. Well, accomplishments could be a lot of factors. Statistics, impact of the game, longevity, how the fans have looked up at you, all these years,
I think the first 25 is where you find the players who really become institutionalized na sa PBA. Na tipong talagang when you talk of them, when you talk of the PBA, you cannot go about looking at the history of the PBA without talking about these players.
And Ramon will take it. 1 second to go. Yes.
And in the universe of Philippine basketball, superstars abound, but only a few can go supernova. Like Ramon El Presidente Fernandez, the league's first 4-time MVP.
I don't think anybody would doubt Ramon Fernandez. No, at that time he already won 4 MVP awards by then. That time he was already considered as the greatest player of all time. Today he probably remains to be regarded as the greatest player of all time after another 18 years. No, of course June Mar is closing behind. No, but if you look at it, Fernandez remains to be regarded as a meter stick or the yardstick. No, as far as the greatest players among the players. No.
Ramon Fernandez. Going up using the board.
To this day, El Presidente is still the PBA's all-time leading scorer with 18,996 career points. He is also the leader in the rebounding department with 8,652 career boards and number 1 in career blocks with 1,853 rejections. Fernandez ranks second in steals and assists. And most of all, he is a 19-time PBA champion.
Too late. Besides which, it's very difficult to stop a semi-hook like that. And there again, a good value.
But Mon Fernandez is not a one-man act in the theater of basketball dominance. Lanky but spunky, they definitely won't play second fiddle to Don Ramon, even if the numbers say otherwise.
5 minutes and 14 seconds to go. And again, Fernandez blocks the shot of Abed Gidabit.
One of them is Fernandez's Crispa Toyota arch-rival, Abet Gedabin, a two-time MVP and winner with the legendary Redmanizers.
33 ticks to go. Abed Gidabin.
He became the league's second all-time leading scorer with 15,775 points and number 2 in rebounds with 8,570 boards.
Fast break in the works for the red shirts. Abed Gidabin coming in strongly from the left side.
Gedabin and Fernandez, however, formed just two-thirds of the PBA centers of attraction from the late 70s to the mid-90s. One-third of the spotlight belonged to Philip Cesar. The 1980 MVP also became a perennial defensive answer to the offensive riddle that was Don Ramon.
Patim Israel picked up the garbage. Cesar banks it in.
At one point, he even owned El Presidente after beating him in the league's first one-on-one challenge in 1979. The so-called Tapal King is also a four-time Defensive Player of the Year and second all-time leader in blocks. Cesar also played alongside another future legend in Freddy Hubalde, the 1977 MVP, a prolific forward known for his off-the-glass shots and deep under-goal stabs, or what is known in the streets as dukot.
Quite tentative. Ready. Ready, Ubalde.
Hubalde was a member of the league's mythical 5 selection in 1977. Just like another big man, his name, Manny Paner, who would later join him as one of the greatest centers in the first 25 list.
Paras makes the first.
The big man storyline for the PBA's first 25 won't be complete without the chapter of Benji Paras. Just imagine a young 6'4" player outplaying Fernandez, Gedabin, and Cesar, who were still in their prime. And the best part, he beat them all to become the league's only Rookie of the Year and MVP in 1989. 10 years later, the Tower of Power would win another MVP plum on top of the All-Star MVP and Comeback Player Awards in 1999.
Tony, tough angle to work with, won't go. That captain is there.
In that same era, another league legend would emerge. His name, Alvin Patrimonio, who would later become the PBA's second four-time MVP.
The turnaround by Alvin.
The captain was one of the league's smartest forwards, outscoring bigger defenders in the post while punishing them from the perimeter with an effective outside shot. No wonder he wrapped up his 16-year career as the PBA's third all-time leading scorer with 15,091 points.
Jerry working on the outside. And Alvin with an offensive rebound.
But sometimes, basketball isn't just about points. Just ask Patrimonio's front court partner and bosom buddy, Jerry Codinera. The defense minister came close to securing MVP honors in 1993, but eventually lost to Patrimonio. Yet despite falling short of the top prize, Codinera cemented his stature nonetheless as a 9-time member of the PBA defensive team, to go with a Defensive Player of the Year plum in 1994. The first 25 is different from the PBA Hall of Fame, but some names appear on both lists like Robert Jaworski, Ramon Fernandez, Atoy Co, Philip Cesar, Bogs Adornado, and Francis Arnaiz were the first batch of Hall of Fame inductees in 2005. The PBA has since enshrined 40 Filipino basketball greats, 18 of which were part of the first 25. In basketball, we have catchphrases like teamwork, hustle, intensity. But in the end, it all boils down to actually making that shot. It's all about scoring. Meet the PBA's scoring legends. Those who have made the baskets and carried their teams to greatness.
Into the front court, Florenshaw.
In basketball, it's all about points, but points actually go better with moves. And in this department, there's one name that stands out. His name is Danny Florencio, a former national team standout in the 1970s. Was wowed fans with a plethora of moves. Daredevil Danny, who was once deemed the original Skywalker, became a two-time scoring champion in a short but storied 8-year stint in the league.
Florencio makes it. Florencio with a very quick release. 14.2 tonight on the...
Another sharpshooting sentinel who etched his name in the record books is Fortunato Atoy Ko. The fortune cookie was one of the few local players who have mastered the fadeaway shot. Ko was also the first to score 5,000 and 10,000 points in the PBA, cementing his reputation as a 4-time scoring champion and a 9-time mythical first-team member. By the way, he is also the 1979 most valuable player. But aside from Ko, there's another Filipino-Chinese guard who's as deadly from the perimeter. Meet Lim Eng Beng. The Manila-born sniper may not be as flashy as his more popular peers, but he was an equally effective shooter with an explosive first step to the basket. Lim was also noted for his gentlemanly demeanor, which later earned him a Sportsmanship Award in 1980, on top of a mythical 5 citation in 1978. William Boggs Adornado remains a legend in his own right. He walked away with the league's first MVP award in 1975. Not even a serious knee injury in 1976 would later stop him from claiming his second straight MVP trophy, making him the award's first back-to-back winner. He won the league's top individual trophy again in 1981 to become the first 3-time PBA MVP.
Out to Ricardo Brown.
If you are looking for someone to say a mouthful about Boggs Adornado, then better pick Ricardo Brown. The quick brown fox took the league by storm in 1983, winning that season's Rookie of the Year award. And 2 years later, he would emerge as the PBA's most valuable player in 1985. With his vast ball handling skills and good court vision, Brown could easily outfox the league's most grizzled defenders by shooting at will or passing to an open teammate. Fast forward to the 1990s, and in that period's shooting history, there is one name that deserves his own altar, someone whose skills are worthy of worship: Alan Kaidik, the triggerman who took MVP honors in 1990, was perhaps the purest shooter the country has ever produced. He set the most number of points scored by a player in a single game at 79, and did the most number of 3-point field goals made in a game at 17, and made the most number of consecutive free throws at 76. To this day, these records have yet to be broken. Kaidik also took the Rookie of the Year award in 1987, becoming a 6-time Mythical 5 member. And all that he did while playing for powerhouse San Miguel Beer. In that same team, Avelino Samboy Lim emerged to become one of the most exciting shooting guards in the PBA. Defying gravity, the Skywalker constantly humiliated many defenders with his exceptional leaping ability, his aerial forays, and inside incursions, often leading to highlight reel dunks and layups. To some, Samboy is a unique find, but for others, a close comparison to the great Skywalker wouldn't hurt. And in that breath, Jojo Lastimosa is often mentioned. Jolas could also leap through fences, drive to the hole, and pull up jumpers, even in traffic. The 1998 Rookie of the Year started as a Pure Foods heartthrob but became a vital cog to the championship juggernaut that was Alaska in the 90s. Overall, he won 10 PBA titles, 9 from the Milkmen, including a Grand Slam in 1996. In Alaska, Lastimosa teamed up with future PBA stars, including a young Kenneth Duremdes. At 24, Duremdes became the youngest inductee to the league's elite circle. Mind you, he had the jewels to show: an MVP mint in 1998, 2 Finals MVP plums, pair of Best Player of the Conference citations, and above all, 6 PBA titles. Before taking his talents to Alaska, Doremdes was once the underutilized backup of another PBA great, Vergel Meneses. The aerial voyager was a face of the Sunkist Pop Cola franchise in the mid-90s. But he was most recognized for his acrobatic moves to the hoop, earning him back-to-back PBA Slam Dunk titles in 1992 and 1993. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Meneses would later snare the MVP trophy in 1995 on top of 4 All-Star MVP honors, 3 Best Player of the Conference awards, and of course, 3 PBA titles. Need we say more? The first 25 coffee table book, which was published in late 2000, featured not just the PBA's 25 greatest players since 1975. It also included anecdotes about the PBA's past commissioners, coaches, imports, and virtually the entire history of the league for its silver year. The book was edited by former Philippine Sports Writers Association President Jimmy Cantor and trivia master Bong Barameda.
Every battlefield needs generals, leaders in charge of executing strategies. In the blink of an eye. In the basketball court, they dictate the tempo of the game. They are fast, smart, and methodical. And they certainly know how to carry a damn ball. These are the PBA's finest court generals.
Here is the Big J with a baseline drive.
Never say die. That phrase may speak volumes about the fabled Ginebra San Miguel franchise. But its storyline only echoes the career of one man, the living legend, Robert Sonny Jaworski. Gifted with a barrel-chested build and natural basketball instincts, the Big J was an intense power playing guard. Picture this, an MVP award in 1978, 6 Mythical 5 citations, and 13 PBA championships, 9 from the legendary Toyota squad, and 4 from Ginebra as playing coach. Jaworski was also the PBA's all-time leader in assists, with 5,825 career dimes. When we speak of Jawo in the 70s, we also speak of Francis Arnaiz. Mr. Clutch was Jaworski's longtime backcourt partner, from Toyota to Ginebra in a span of 13 years. Like the Big J, he had a knack for firing up the crowd with his looks and skills.
The road runner goes for 3 points. Oh, what a great shot!
He's just 5'10", but can disarm hulking imports and shot blockers with looping layups and booming outside shots. The 3-time Mythical 5 member always does that in the clutch. But if you want to see Arnaiz play a less than spectacular game, call Bernard Fabiosa. The Redmanizer's top guard was a lockdown backcourt defender,
Here's Mamaril. Bernie Fabiosa. Got it.
pestering ball handlers with his quick hands and high basketball IQ to delay or disrupt the opponent's offensive sets.
Fernandez just took the ball away too. In one situation, but Fabiosa saved the situation.
No wonder he's often regarded as the perfect match to the offensive-minded Arnaiz during their famed Crispa Toyota days. He was one of the first players to compile 2,000 career assists and 1,000 career steals. Hence, the moniker, the Sultan of Swipe.
Stafford was hectoring free.
You speak of the 90s backcourt brilliance, and Hector Calma aptly fits in that conversation. The director is a pure point guard, a virtuoso orchestrator who wields excellent timing and precision passing, making him one of the key pieces in San Miguel Beer's Grand Slam performance in 1989. He is also a 3-time Mythical 5 member and once upon a time was the league's assist champion. Calma would later defer San Miguel's playmaking chores to his younger teammates. One of them is Renato Ato Agustin. The Atom Bomb was considered one of the league's early combo guards who could play both the point and shooting guard positions with ease and efficiency. In 1992, he ran away with the MVP award, besting a field that includes future Hall of Famers and PBA legends. Agustin, who's won multiple titles with San Miguel, is also a 3-time Mythical 5 member. Just a year before Agustin entered the league, Ronnie Magsano pitched his relevance to the point guard discussion. The point laureate was Benji Paras's ultimate facilitator, much like John Stockton to Karl Malone. So it's little surprise that he became 2-time assist champion. But Magsano, the great court general that he is, thinks there's actually someone better than him or even his friend Hector Calma. He is referring to Johnny Abarientos. At 5'7", the little guy redefined point guard play in the PBA. Assisting, defending, and even challenging taller defenders with slashing moves and hang time ability. The Flying A was so good that he led Alaska to 8 titles, including a Grand Slam in 1996,
From the side.
not to mention getting the attention of NBA scouts from the Charlotte Hornets. In a 17-year stint, Abarientos surpassed Ramon Fernandez as the league's all-time career leader in steals with 1,358 total swipes. He ranks 4th in career assists with 3,757 total. Aside from being a 6-time Mythical 5 member, 5-time All-Defensive Team member, and 2-time Finals MVP. And in case you forget, the Flying A was the shortest player to ever win an MVP plum in the Philippine Basketball Association.
They say that in basketball, you only need these 2 things to succeed: talent and determination. But think about this. Everyone has determination. You may develop certain talents. Most of these basketball players are of the same body type, build, and height. But it takes a special kind of specimen, you may say a different kind of species, to rise above the ordinary, determined, and talented individual to achieve basketball immortality. And the PBA's first 25 is certainly a fundamental source of Filipino basketball pride. My name is Lourdes Vera. This has been Basketball Almanac, and I'm proud to be Filipino.